The outcard. Nice full house. Aces and kings. You did. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe next time. Before we get started, let's introduce each other. I'm David Schoaf, KC4X, and we'll start right over here with these four and then hit the back row.
Daryl, N5WK. Jerry,
K4GW. Tina, K4HKE. Jim, KD4SJ. Doug, W4SDH.
CCW1L.
Logan, just have to take this one back.
He's not the only one, but we're not there yet. Go ahead, Henry.
Henry, W4HHS.
Steve, WA3, RTC.
Bruce, WB4, QCM.
Mine, W4LKN.
Sam, I4TG.
Dan, KC4WSK.
Rick, M4MBI.
Dale, WB9SL.
David, N5WD.
Matt, KV1BSI. Ryan, N4UBZ.
I'm Caroline, KM4DCO.
And Jim, W4US.
Jim?
Jim, WA4NOT.
Ron, KV4WPN. Richard, W4IHC.
Doc, WB4QIZ.
Ken, K2KXK.
Harold, N4HER.
Chris, KW4BK.
John, K1PPE. David, W4OIF.
Jim, N3LBJ.
I'm Jim, I just set my station. I'm Dad, Whiskey 4, Golf Game Call.
Let's see. I guess we'll go here, Harold. I mean, Harm. Sorry, Harold.
W1HRC, Harlan.
Sparky, K4TES.
Ron, W4UDB.
MC4RD.
Mark, KM4TUK.
KJ4FIN, Jim.
Bobby, AA9AU.
Mike, W4NAB.
Mike, K4LA.
Terry, W3NBS.
Bob, W3AVB. And I might mention the graph was being very modest. He passed an amateur extra tonight.
Yeah. Me about that the other day.
I ain't asked anymore.
That's right. Mary, please.
Mary, KM4WPO.
Very good. Well, glad to see everyone out, especially glad to see Bob back with us and Bob back with us. Bob broke a, well, hip. Wasn't that fun? In any case, glad to have you guys back. Got a little house cleaning to do. One of the things I wanted to point out is our suggestion box. We use this at Hamfest Day, and I got a couple of suggestions. One of them was chairs at the Hamfest, or the field at Hamfest site. I'll get it right. And there are plenty of chairs there, but suggestions we can use. And program suggestions, if you have one that you'd like to suggest or one that you'd like to put on, put it in here. We got a pen here and something to write on, so please do use it. Also, Don Edwards, our editor of the newsletter, has put out a fine newsletter. There are some, how many we have left? Got a couple left. You can't hear me?
No, yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, that's a good thing. Oh, I see. For those of you who don't know, this is broadcast. We have a camera up here, and if I don't stay in the range of about here to about there, then they fuss at me, so my apologies. I will tell you, I'll sneak back out one more time. Over on the corner over here, we've got tickets from our Hamfest that are not going to be used anymore, but you get a handful of them, you cut them in half, you got nice little note cards, you know, something to write on, keep on the desk, what have you. Also, we've got a flyer from the Rock Hill, South Carolina Hamfest, which is coming up, and we got a bunch of these. You guys, I don't know whether you see these or not, we get some for every Hamfest to pass out. It's a nice little frequency chart. Everything you want to know about what frequency to operate and what have you, Plus they got the call zones on the back. Stop and get a couple of these things and use them, because otherwise they'll just end up in the trash can. So, Harold?
If you go to
search for ARRL charts online, you can find that chart, and it makes nice wallpaper on your PC screen.
Oh, okay.
All right. Commercials. Let's see, Jim doesn't have anything to say, and we talked about the newsletter, so we're going to hear from our treasurer. And Kent, you don't have to stand up, but I know you're proud to.
Stand up every chance you get. Let's see here. Current balance is $5,981.22.
Only major expenses that we have coming up is just going to be for field day, and then those will all show up over this month, and we'll report back on those next time. And then I'll pass it back over to David, and then he'll get with John, and that he'll discuss the Hamfest.
Yeah. John, you want to go ahead and talk to us about the Hamfest last weekend or a couple of weekends ago?
It was a good day. I mean, could have had some other people, but it would have been nice. I took tickets, and so I got to see everybody as they were coming in, and that was really nice. I enjoyed that. But we had a total cash and total deposits was $1169.80. There was out of that there was $25.80 in the kitty, and $25 for dues, and they gave me $21 for cash for gas expenses going to the different Hamfest. Table and tailgate sales brought in $110, and the net ticket sales were $830 with a ticket count of roughly 166 tickets. It's a little bit higher than it was in January, and according to our treasurer over there, he says my going to the different Hamfest was worth it. So hopefully that y'all agree with that. The building rental was $150, and advertising was $209. So the net profit for the club was $606.80. So, and thank you for everybody who helped. I appreciate you being there, and for all the work that y'all helped me with. So thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kippy. Okay, we got a little bit more interesting stuff to report tonight, and we've got to take a couple of votes. Most of you already know that we have had a repeater up on the Saratown Mountain that had to be removed per WXII and whatever the FCC is forcing them to do. So that repeater's been off of the mountain, I guess it'll be a year in November or early December. And we've been very fortunate. Jerry Miner has a repeater that's up there that they haven't run him off yet. And we've been pretty much able to use that at will, and that's a good thing. And we want to thank Jerry for that. And Jerry has also provided us with a place to put the repeater down in Midway. And the only thing we've had to do down there was pay the electric bill, which I think was about 27 bucks a month, something like that. So we've had some issues with the repeater. And so Dale took the repeater out, and he's gone through the repeater. And then Jerry came up with another wonderful deal, and that is we're back on the mountain. In fact, last week, Jim Register, myself, and Dale went out to the repeater site in Midway, and we pulled all of that stuff out, including our good antenna that I forget what the thing cost, but it was expensive. And we moved every bit of it back to Saratown Mountain to a commercial site. And one of the things that we're going to need to vote on tonight, your board voted on it at the Hamfest, and that was it's going to cost us $25 a month to stay up there. That's the power bill. We don't have emergency backup power just yet. We might. It depends on whether I can get the generator going or not. But that's something we want to vote on, because as soon as well, there's another aspect to this. The repeater's there, it's operational, but it's not on the air, and there's a reason, and it's called an antenna, and we'll get to that in a minute. But first thing we want to do is, do I hear a motion for us to agree to pay?
Make a motion that we agree to pay the $25.
And they're the second. Okay, thank you. If anybody has any questions, be glad to answer a question now or later, but you pretty much know what the rest of us know about it. So any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it, Mr. Secretary. The second item, which is a little bit trickier, but not really. This tower, I've got a picture of it if you want to see it, but there's no way for me to project it on my phone. It's 280 feet tall. We're not at the top. That's okay. Our presence on the tower, I think, is 171 feet, which is going to put us just about level with the top of the mountain again, or maybe even a little bit above it at the moment. Right now, we don't know. But this is a commercial tower, and we're not going to climb it. Those are going to have to be commercial people that do that. And we have some guys that are licensed and insured to do this, and it's going to cost us $750 to put our antenna up. So that pretty much wiped out the Hamfest in some ways, but we've got the money to pay it. And I will tell you that Jim and I and Dale at the Midway site, we took that, it's a good antenna out. We cleaned it up. We put it back together. We tested it on the site for SWR issues. It's in perfect condition. And then we took it to the mountain. It has been weatherproof, so it's ready to go up. It's just sitting waiting on the guys to take it up. We don't know when it's going to go up. Maybe this week, maybe next week. We were supposed to see it go up last week, but it just didn't happen. So do we hear a motion to spend? And we have a second. And any more discussion or questions? Yes, sir.
Is there coax already at this time?
Yeah, we did use the Heliax.
Yes, that's got Heliax. Good stuff.
7/8.
Is it 7/8? I think I may not be that big. I think 5/8, but still, it's Heliax.
No, it's 7.
Okay. I can't measure, so Bobby?
You probably already thought about this, but if we have limited access, is there anything we can do, like putting up an extra cable now to save us trouble or downtime in the future? Have a second antenna, even if it's not good for us?
That's a good question, a good thought. We do not have any other Heliaxes available, I don't think. There are some questions. There's another Heliax available. We just don't know where it goes. And so without knowing, you just have to be real careful because it is a commercial site. We will be there with a couple of other customers. One of them is Stokes County and their 911 system. And we're not real fond of the idea of messing them up. So I did not bring the map. The only map I have is still up there. No, I think it's more about like that. But that's okay. It's still Heliax, and we're going to use it. So we've had a motion and a second. And like I said, now we can ask questions. If you think of something later, come and ask me. Maybe I can answer it, maybe not, but I'll be happy to try. So all those in favor of spending the $750 to put, we hope it's still $750. You know how these things can go, but $750 to put the antenna up on the tower. All those in, aye, okay, thank you. And all opposed, I'm sorry. I don't do this very often, so Mr. Secretary, we'll call that passed. Thanks very much. Yeah, if we can Heliax somewhere, then you know we can make that happen. It would cost us that alone. Oh yeah, Yeah, the Heliacs, that's expensive stuff. But that's a great question, Bobby. And we've got that one other spot. We don't know what's going to happen, but if we can find some Heliacs somewhere for a really good price, yeah, that may be something we'll do in the future. One of the things that we do at our business meeting coming up next Monday night is we talk about stuff just like this. And all of you are invited, and they'll go crazy if this many people show up in that room to eat. But they'll be happy.
Enough waitresses.
Well, they'll find them. They'll be happy. We all eat, and then we meet, and it's a good fellowship, and it's a good business meeting because we do have things that we need to take care of. So with that, I'm going to turn things over to Don for a minute. Don has a couple of things, and then Steve's coming up.
Thank you. Thank you for the, just quickly to the people who did guess the mystery ham in the newsletter. Any last ones? There, let's see, Chris, KW4, YVK, John Covington from Charlotte, W4CC, Wilson Lamb, Jim Atkins, was it W4UX, and Stan Overby, W4RDZ, and Mary KM4, there she is, I can't remember. They all got that. That was King Juan Carlos of Spain. That was a harder one. The real reason why I'm here, if you have a general class license and you're wanting to study for your extra, I've been approached by someone, and I'm going to run some classes at my office one night a week. Probably going to be Thursday nights. It's not going to start this week. But I have limited seating and space. But if you want to do that, I need your name on this list. We're probably limited to about 8 people. And I need your email on here. So I'll pass this around if you want to. And that was really the prime thing I want to talk about. Before I'll mention, Jeff Stafford and I got invited down to operate from museum ships on the air. That was a great lot of fun. We'll have some more pictures in the next month's newsletter. One guy operated, I was on 40CW, and one guy kept asking me QTH, and I said Wilmington or USSNC or whatever, and he kept going, sailing on, and I finally said mud. We're sailing on mud. It's a museum ship, and he went away. We got to tour spaces that are closed off on the ship. The transmitter room, the club down there is restoring it. It will work. It sounds a bit auspicious on the air, but we weren't using that. We were using modern radios. Jeff missed the first tour to the transmitter room, so the brig was nearby. So we took him back to the brig and took a picture of him in the brig for going AWOL. And inside the brig, there's somebody had written on the wall, and I have a picture of this. Patterson was here, so Steve must have been in the brig at one time. Anyway, thank you. That's really all I have.
Very good. Thank you, Don. I also have our attendance sheet. Anybody that did not get to sign in, anybody? Here it is if you need it.
Just a quick comment. We have a group that meets on the third Tuesdays of the month, which is a project group, and we've been running a project. We normally meet at the Miller Park Recreation Center. However, this month, because of the work we're doing, and we're going to actually be putting a surface mount item on a board, we're going to meet over at Don's, and I was trying to catch him before he got out of here, but it's over in the vicinity of Kermit's hot dog place. But if you were planning to go, could you just raise a hand? We're making sure we got enough chairs. It's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can handle that. There'll be a few more than that. I've got, but street address. 833.
If you're facing Kermit's, look to the left. The parking lot right behind my building. That's where you park.
Okay, and I'll forward that number to those that have emailed the request.
What was that address again? 833 East Bragg.
833 East Bragg. Named after
Do you
the
want to talk
father
about
of
the
man
food
who
at
founded
field
the
day?
Ambassador Company.
got the menu right here.
We have cameras, you can watch it.
Really, the only thing we need are the coolers.
Okay.
And I've already talked about it.
Okay.
Run down the street.
It's my 2-minute turn for Aries. Tour of Tanglewood coming up in September. There's a long write-up in the newsletter. There's also information on the website. We have a new sign-in process this year. For those that went last year, it was a great event. This year's a little different. We're going through different counties as opposed to where we normally went. Now we're going up through Surrey County and up around Pilot Mountain. We're having an integrated command post. I was actually this afternoon on the on phone line with State EOC, working on our authorization to use the Viper system to be able to communicate directly to the respective jurisdictions we're going to go through. And that's been approved, so we'll have that this year, a direct communications link as opposed to telephone. So all kinds of new stuff for that. That's probably the official notice. Anyway, we're working on some additional stuff with the counties. Hopefully have a drill sometime in August with regards to Tour de Tanglewood. It'll be a radio operated drill. And that's basically it. Thanks everybody for all that you do. Oh, yeah, one other thing real quick. I just remembered. Several of you I've gave an email. You've got an email from me. Actually, you got an email from NC4AX, which is North Carolina Oxcom system. That's our database for the state. Several of you have already uploaded your stuff. And in order to be invited to that database, you have to have completed all 4 ICS courses. If you've completed 100, 200, 700, and 800, and I get a copy of the certificates, I put in the database that you're eligible, you get an invite, and all that is a state database. It's maintained so that we have an access point of who's got the qualifications to walk into an EOC operation. And so that's all that's for. Upload it. Once you take the 10 minutes that it takes to get into the system, upload your 4 documents and save them. It'll send me a note that says you put your information in. I'll go in, review it, make sure everything's right based on the information you gave me. Then I'll activate it, and that's all you ever have to do with it. You don't really have to sign back into it again unless you change something, and you go in and update your information. And then I'll get a notice that you've updated, and I'll verify it and clear it for publishment. That's all that is. Right now the site, if you go to it, it'll tell you that it's not a safe site. It is. They've got a problem with the digital certificate for some reason. It's getting cleared up, but you can go ahead and go into it. It's virus free, and just go into your advanced settings, go into the website anyway, and upload your stuff. And that's it. If you haven't got the invitation, that's because you have not given me a Form 98 for Aries, which gives me all your data, and you have not forwarded me copies of ICS 100, 200, 700, and 800. Once you do that, then I'll get you to the database.
One question.
Yes?
Actually, a comment. Breaking a tradition.
I'm breaking a tradition?
Yeah, the MS is breaking a tradition. Those be yours.
Barbecue.
Barbecue.
Well, you'll have to find a new place. Okay. I don't know where. I haven't driven the routes. I'm going to drive them here next week or so. I'll drive all the routes, and we'll know where the places are. But we're trying to identify hazard locations. The neat thing, the issue is that they had a bike team that went out, some local bike shops, rode the routes and made the routes this year, and they just handed them to them. Said, here's the route. They did it with what's called Ride with GPS. What they didn't do while they rode the route was identified hazard locations, hazardous intersections. And everything funnels through the town of Louisville both days, and just within Louisville. we've identified a half a dozen hazard locations that need law enforcement for traffic control. And the bike riders never even told them that. So that's upping their cost. We're working with them and trying to find all that information. That's it. If you want to be a SAG, a ham operator, rest stop person, let me know. Thank you, Dave.
I'll be a SAG. Sign me up. Okay, just a couple.
Go to sign up, Jeannie, and sign up. I sent you an email.
You sent me the email. Spam filter got it. Who has an Elecraft? How many Elecraft guys do we have in here? 1, 2, okay. Bob? There you go, Bob. You're close. And I can tell we have some goodies here that came back from Dayton, courtesy of Brian. Caroline, did you go with him? No.
He already has one.
He already has one, okay. You get one anyway, Chris. There you go. I'm just passing out goodies. Who'd like a lanyard? There we go. Mr. Brand New Extra Class. And let's see, we're down to 3 other items, and I'll let you come by and get those. I have one other piece of business, and then we're going to turn this over to Daryl, who's going to talk about Field Day. Coming up on the 4th of July, there is a, worked all the original 13 colonies. Some of you guys did this last year. This was a lot of fun on the 4th of July, especially in the afternoon when it's too hot. You're hanging around the house. You've already got the yard mowed and all that stuff. So you work them.
It's a 5-day event.
Yes, it's not. First through the 8th. So there you go. And this was a lot of fun. You send them, I think, $2 or something, but I sent them a little bit more. I think I gave them $10 to pay for the guys that don't send the $2 or whatever. But in any case, this is the award I got, and I'll leave it up here on the table for you to look at. It was just a piece of paper. My wife got the framework. So
Was that for last year?
this was last year, yeah. I did not. I did not. That was extra. South Carolina was tough enough, but anyway, it's coming up after Field Day, and it's a lot of fun. So good opportunity to participate. And Daryl is our Field Day guy, and I'm going to turn it over to Daryl, who will be better than I am. He'll stand on the right side of this chair, and he'll be in the camera. Carry on, Daryl.
Well, let's see. Before I get started, we have any Yazoo fanboys or fangirls in the place? Okay. How are we going to do this? I got 2 caps. How are we going to do? Yeah, close my eyes and throw. Yeah, like a wedding. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Go this way, and I'll go back that way. How's that? Okay, let's see. I better get over here. Let's see. Well, first thing, I'm going to pass around the list, the dreaded Field Day operating list. Anybody that would like to operate Saturday or Sunday, put your name down, the mode you're most comfortable operating in, and date and time, because we'll be out there Saturday and Sunday. Let me just start this off. And I guess the first thing to do is, I guess we're going to plan on being out there Friday morning, maybe about 9 o'clock, to start putting up the support ropes. Let's see, we'll have, I know, 2 launchers, and Doc, didn't you were telling me someone had made a 3rd? That's right. So we'll have 3, so hopefully we can get it done a lot quicker this year. And then Saturday morning, come back out there and put up our antennas. Maybe if we might even try doing that some Friday, depending on how fast it goes. David is volunteered to pull the club trailer out there Saturday morning. Let's see. Oh, I know. We are looking for, we have one large ice chest and we're looking for 2 more. Anybody that's planning on being out there happen to have a large ice chest?
I have a fairly large, it's not a
Fairly large one?
but it's
Okay.
Put a lot in?
I have a coffin size.
You have a coffin size?
I didn't say it was large.
I've got a 72 quart.
Okay.
All right.
That's a body size.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so we'll, Harold, Harlan, so we'll have plenty, okay. We'll have that covered, and let's see, I believe we're good on the food and the media. That's right. And I guess we'll have the pressure on us this year because we won our category last year, so we're going to see if we can repeat this year and keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully the thunderstorms will stay away. 9A. Let's see. Anybody have any questions?
What time Saturday morning do you want us to meet?
Saturday morning, 9 a.m. That's right. Okay. Yes, sir.
For those of us who have not been to this, it's exciting. Can you tell us where it is?
It's at Hobby Park. It's down Clemensville Road.
Between and Griffith Road.
That's correct. Yeah, there'll be a sign out. Yeah. There'll be a sign. It's kind of the driveway's in the side of a hillside, and if you blink, you'll pass it. So.
It's a very steep driveway.
Yeah.
You want to tell us how many operators you're looking for? What time we start, get on the air on Saturday, about what time?
Well, we start to transmit at 2 p.m. on Saturday, and then we'll transmit continuously, depending on the bands being open, until 2 p.m. on Sunday, and then we'll start breaking everything down. I have various people that will be the band captains, but anybody that would like to operate, we do want you to operate, especially folks that have never, maybe you've just gotten your license, maybe you've never operated in kind of a contest atmosphere. Don't be intimidated. We'll walk you through it. 10 minutes, you'll feel like you've been doing it for 100 years. It's not hard.
You'll want your general after you.
Oh yeah.
Daryl, who are the band captains?
Well, we got, let's see, I'll be on 80. Don will be on, well, I'll be 80 and 10 meters. Don will be 80 and 15. Gene will probably be on 40 sideband. Brian will be doing 40 CW. Let's see. Jim Atkins will be 20 CW. I have to talk to Mason to see if he's going to be there for 20 sideband. And let's see. Harold will be on digital modes. Harlan will be working 2 meters. And Bobby Meyer will be working the GOTA station. And, but again, we do want you to operate. Please don't feel intimidated. I know the first time, especially folks that have just gotten their license, it's a little intimidated. Stick a microphone in your face the first time, but.
Let me add one thing.
Okay.
And I'll do it on this, so don't run off. Well. Not only if you don't feel like operating, we got to have loggers too. So it's usually a 2-person team, and some of us are quick enough to log and talk. I can't do that, so I got to have help. But the key thing for you guys that haven't done this before, and I'm thinking of Gaff and Jim, maybe that might be first time for them, it's going to be a lot easier than you think, because what I do is I print you out a cheat sheet of what to say. And then you just look at the cheat sheet, say what's on the cheat sheet, and here come the calls. Because everybody else out there is going to be doing the same thing. And you get into the rhythm and the swing of it, first thing you know, nothing to it. That's the way it was with you, wasn't it?
That's right. Piece of cake.
Really good. Do and then after about
Yeah, that's typically what we do. We a lot of times, I know if I'm working with somebody, I'll just have them log it first, and after they get in the rhythm of that for a while, switch over, and then I'll log and let that person operate. Yes, sir.
For CW, is it bring your own paddle or?
No, we'll have the radio set up and everything. Now, if you, yeah, yeah. If you're used to your own, if you're used to your own and you feel more comfortable with it, bring it.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
I think that it's operating, but I haven't frankly said anybody that like help me get back board. It doesn't matter what time I'm operating.
Okay.
I get all board 1 o'clock on Joe County on Saturday night. Yeah, you know, any time.
We
Okay, I didn't sign up on TV.
Give Daryl your contact.
Okay.
They're on the same line as this question about bringing your own paddle. If you got to set up your phone, you're comfortable with, bring them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That way.
Yeah, with your name on it.
With your name on it. There's a number of ways that you won't be listening. Yeah, there's a little, we got little earphone amplifiers with individual volume controls on them, so you plug that in the radio and you focus just your volume on your
Quarter inch, 18 inch.
I think they're quarter inch, but there's adapters. Yeah, but you know, bring something, if you've got an 8-inch and you've got a quarter inch adapter, bring it. Just mark it so you know it's yours, and then when you get done, just take it with you the next guy can, plug his in. But, for the ones that, with as much noise going on, it makes it a lot easier when you're on earphones, so that the background noise is not loud out your call.
Yeah. You'll definitely want earphones. Anything else?
The big band that Don brings. Don, are you listening? Are you bringing it? Wake up. I will bring a generator and a plug generator. That's what we had last year. There are 2 pallets that are over my shop that we set the generators on. The little canopy, everything that we set out for the power shed will be there. If anybody has something that needs to be brought out, let us know. I'm collecting antenna cables and stuff. I'll put them in my trailer so that we'll have those out there when we're ready to put them up.
I've got banners and everything. I'll have those.
Just have you talked to Mason lately, by any chance? Hadn't you? Yeah.
Okay. You guys already know we're going to be working Friday, 9 o'clock on Friday, but if you're coming to field day, there's one thing that we're going to require, and that is as you come into the shelter, we're going to need you to sign up. We'll have a sign-in sheet, and that sign-in sheet's going to ask you for your name, your call, and an emergency telephone number that we can call somebody if you get in trouble. And please, we don't want you there if you don't sign up, because we don't like for things to happen, but things happen, don't they, Dave? Yep.
He can't hammer anything.
There's one other thing that's going to be added to that list. At the end of it, there'll be a sign-out block, just as X that you put in. This is to get you signing in and out, which would have to do in emergency operations. Since that's what our field day is about, we're going to operate the same way.
Also, you don't have to license or worry about your
Nope.
already has to wear during the day. Without a license, with a license, or leading class.
There's plenty of extra around here.
That's exactly right. Not only that, if you've got a friend that wants to come with you and do some logging, bring them. There'll be things for everybody to do, especially on
Saturday morning. That gets pretty wild on Saturday. We're going to try to keep it from getting quite so wild. And yeah, please. Okay, I'm going to give it back to you. I think Steve's going to talk about.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, you say Saturday morning. I'm going to talk about Saturday at 6 o'clock. PM, not AM. Saturday at 6 p.m. Guess what? We're going to be hungry, I hope. Traditional Southern hot dog cookout. It's not just us. Bring family. We're going to gear up for, I'm expecting at least 80 people out there. And one of the things that's happened in the past, we've never planned for it, but everybody brings a little something, it seems. I'm going to leave room on the table, so we're going to have room. So if you wanted to bring a special treat or something, but we're planning on hot dogs, chips and slaw, potato salad, beans, and at least 2 banana puddings, big ones. Maybe. Anyway, somebody said they like banana pudding. I can't understand why, but we'll do it. But that's 6 p.m. on Saturday. Have the rest of the family meet you out there, and we'll have a good time.
Let's see.
When do you want to recover? When do you want to get these cooler? When do you want the cooler?
The cooler, just Saturday morning.
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning, yeah. Let's see. Any other questions? No? Well, let's plan on Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. Yes, sir. Oh, couple. Oh, yeah, Jim.
Okay, this is the part of the bonus points department. In addition to QSO points, there are various things like somebody from the Red Cross will be there, so that counts as a public service. And I think we bring a dog catcher, so we've got a public official, and things like that. But in addition, we get points for one of the traditional amateur radio activities, namely traffic handling. We get 100 points for sending the section manager an email, a radiogram that says, "Hi, we're here. There are X many people here, and Y many people of them are Aries people." We can also get another 100 points by sending 10 radiograms to your friends and neighbors. In the past, I've just made these things up, but my friends and neighbors are getting a little tired of it. So, except for my kids who have to put up with 2 of them, I've got 8 pre-written radiograms. And I would like 8 volunteers to each take one of these things, address it to somebody you know, love, or would like to hack off. You take your pick. And the full address, name, mailing address, because sometimes they'll actually get mailed at the other end. Telephone number, because most of the final distribution is by phone and cell phone, and then sign it at the bottom. And you know, it's innocuous. It basically says ARL 50 from Field Bay 2018 at Hobby Park. Now that ARL 50 is one of our set of numbered radiograms that the guy at the other end, or girl who passes it on, will translate that to greetings by amateur radio. But we said it in 2 words, which keeps the traffic moving faster. And then signature at the bottom. If you do, and I hope you know, if you'll take one of these, I'd also recommend that between now and field day, tell the person who's going to receive it that they'll get something like that. We found in the past that due to the increasing incidence of robocalls, scammers, this, that, and the other, you know, somebody says, "Hi, I'm a radio amateur from across the street," and they say, "Yeah, right." You know, we'd like to avoid that. Okay, have I got 8 volunteers? All right, here we go. And then I'll pick them up when we finish here. You can have the mic back.
All right.
Okay, I'll get down. Two more. Here we go. Back here. Okay. Let me get the guys at the back. Okay.
Harold, did you have another question? I thought I saw your hand go up. Cover it.
The only thing I can think of that we haven't talked about, Daryl, is we could probably use an official greeter, somebody that can stay under the shelter and handle the sign-in sheet and make sure everybody gets signed in, welcome any new people, and maybe point them in the right direction, because you willing to do that, Uncle Kippy? Thank you very much, sir. So we have our greeter, and he doesn't work at Walmart.
That's a Walmart.
That's a good thing.
But it's good practice, John. Get your junk
No.
out.
See, you get weird toward the end of the meeting, you know. Anyway, anything else? Dale, do you have a report for us on the number of folks that passed, or are they all here? Okay, we got Jim and Gaff and Logan. There you go. Did you get Gaff? Okay, so the 4th one's not here. But, anyway, congratulations to all those folks, and be radioactive. Do we have anything else? Do I hear a motion? Walk out the door. Well, we'll hang around and fellowship a little bit. Okay, end of the meeting. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.